Hello beautiful people, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to review the new Lattafa fragrance in collaboration with a famous perfumer called Quentin Bisch. If you guys are interested, then stay tuned. Guys, before I share the review of Teriaq by Lattafa x Quentin Bisch, if you are visiting the channel for the first time, my name is Amanda. This is Top Note by A, and to all my returning viewers and subscribers, thank you for supporting the channel. Quentin Bisch collaborated with Lattafa. I thought I would see this in my lifetime. No, not yet, because it's a Middle Eastern house and it's affordable. But then he collaborated with the Middle Eastern house Lattafa. This fragrance, perfumer has worked with houses like Parfums de Marly and Jean Paul Gaultier. So it's amazing that he actually collaborated with Lattafa to come out with this fragrance. This fragrance, let me tell you, packaging suits the fragrance. It's done really well. It's luxurious in the packaging. This is one of the best Lattafa packages that I have received from the house, and I do have a decent amount of Lattafa fragrances. This one is done right. It's not over the top, it's not overly done. In its simplicity is very nice. It's not cardboard, it's more plastic, and it's really well done, well thought out fragrance packaging. When you open the fragrance, guys, the fragrance sits in this pedestal like that, and it's very sturdy, so you could keep the fragrance in the pedestal like that and display it in your fragrance collection where you display your fragrances. The bottle comes like this. The cap opens and click really well, so you can actually hold the fragrance like that from the cap, but I would not advise it. The only thing that I will say about the cap is that I don't like the snake, but then it's not my design. It's there, and the cap is plastic, but it's also weighted, so it's not like cheap plastic. It's actually weighted. The optimizer sprays like just any other Lattafa. It sprays really well. They put enough thought into their optimizers. Lattafa does really good optimizer. Their sprays really well, like Kayali. Well, let's talk about the fragrance notes and see if it's worth all the hype. This fragrance at one point, when it first dropped, was selling for $75, and Marcy here on YouTube actually said the fragrance is worth the $75, and I'm like, no. I was able to get it for $39, and I will leave the website that I got it here and also in the description bar below. So let's discuss the fragrance notes and the performance. Then let's talk about if the fragrance is worth what it was being sold for. The fragrance opens with pink pepper. It opens with caramel and pink pepper, and then you have bitter almonds and apricot. The middle of the fragrance has honey, rhubarb, white flowers, and rose. Then the base of the fragrance, you get leather, you have you have vanilla, labdanum, and vetiver and musk. This fragrance, guys, this fragrance, I see where the hype is. When you first spray this fragrance, you get the caramel right away. You get a little spiciness and citrus touches from the pink pepper, and the caramel in this fragrance is not burnt caramel. It's just like you put sugar on the fire, and then as the sugar turns to brown, that is the caramel that you get in this fragrance. The caramel is so good. It's well done. I love the caramel in this fragrance. You do get that cakey gourmand vibe from the bitter almonds. You also get the leather in the beginning of the fragrance. You get the leather, but the leather is done beautifully well. The leather wraps up all the fragrance notes in one, and it gives all the notes power, but then it's not overwhelming, it's not overbearing, it's not overpowering any of the fragrance notes, but you do get the leather. For somebody who doesn't like leather, this is a very good leather fragrance because it's not bonyardy, it's not animalic on your skin. Even the honey in this fragrance doesn't come off animalic on my skin. It's just sweet and syrupy. That is what I get. The one thing I don't get is the rhubarb, and I can pick up rhubarb because of Delina, and I don't get the rhubarb at all, but I do get fruity touches here and there. And when the fragrance starts to dry down, you get the vanilla. The vanilla wraps up in the caramel, the vanilla wraps up in the honey, you know, it wraps up in the vetiver. You do get a little bit of green, just a little bit, like in the background, like green nuances here and earthy nuances here and there. That is what you get from the fragrance. Performance of this fragrance. So guys, let's talk about performance. This one lasts on your skin the whole day. I wore this fragrance to work. I have an 8-hour work day, and this lasts till I got home. Scent bubble, it gave me about 3 hours. I could still smell this fragrance every time I move around. And when I leave an area, I'm told that, you know, your scent is lingering. So it is that powerful. It works very well. It's a beast mode of a fragrance that you don't need to overspray the fragrance. It's a fragrance that is nothing special. The opening of the fragrance reminds me of Pink Sugar from Aquilina, but the older, sexier, well put together older sister of Pink Sugar by Aquilina. That is what it reminds me of. I'm not saying they are the same fragrances, because they are not. When I say that the fragrance is nothing special, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it is in a way. It's nothing that I have smelled in my fragrance collection, but I do have Pink Sugar, and I also have Merchant of Venice and Delusion Soul to compare, and it gives me that mindset, especially with the almonds. That bitter almonds gives you that cakey gourmand, big goods. That is what you get in this fragrance. So when I say it's nothing special, maybe I shouldn't say that. It is special in its own way, that I don't think this is duping anything, except I get Pink Sugar by Aquilina in the opening of the fragrance. Now when the fragrance dries down, you're not getting that anymore. When the fragrance dries down, you're not getting Andalusian Soul from Merchant of Venice. You're not getting it. This is a fragrance on its own. I see why the hype, you know, everybody was hyping this fragrance up. When this fragrance first dropped, it was being sold for $75, and somebody had said that it's worth the $75. Guys, I did not pay $75. I only paid $39.99 for this fragrance. But if I had sampled this fragrance first before, I would have bought it for more than $75. So once again, when I said it's nothing special, I should take it back. It is a special fragrance, because I don't have anything quite like this fragrance in my collection. So I believe that this is not meant to dupe anything. This is meant for other fragrance houses to dupe this fragrance, and I bet very soon we will have a whole bunch of fragrance houses actually duping this fragrance. This fragrance is that good. Longevity is there, sillage is there, you know, beast mode of a fragrance. It checks all the boxes. I said earlier, if you're not the leather person, if you don't like leather, this fragrance, you can still get this fragrance and enjoy it, because the leather is not powerful. It's not overwhelming. The leather is not overpowering any of the fragrance notes. The one thing I don't get is the rhubarb in this fragrance. I do get fruity touches from the apricot in this fragrance, and in the beginning of the fragrance I do get the pink sugar. I do get the pink pepper in this fragrance. It's like loud, it's there, it surrounds the caramel, and then it lingers all the way into the honey, and then it transitions to the vanilla, and then the leather wraps up the vanilla and then ties the vetiver around it. It is that delicious, guys. Guys, thank you so much. Sorry guys, is this fragrance worth the hype it is? Is this fragrance worth $75 if you find it for $75? Yes, but I will leave a link to a website that you can buy this fragrance for $39.99. But in my humble opinion, this fragrance is worth the $75 that it was being sold for. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel and making it this far. Until I see you on another video, stay blessed, smell fabulous, and bye for now.